Hey everybody, I'm Kerry, aka American Arbitrage, and in this video, I want to talk all about an app that has completely revolutionized how I resell online. In the last 3 months, me and my girlfriend have sold over 6,500 items and lots on Whatnot. By far, the number one question I get as a Whatnot reseller is, what is Whatnot? Whatnot is a super fast growing live shopping and auctioning app. Many of you have seen live YouTube auctions or live Instagram auctions. It's similar to that, except Whatnot handles all the payment processing and also creates shipping labels with invoices of all the stuff that your buyers have purchased. There really is nothing quite like the experience right now of going on and buying on Whatnot and also selling. But there is a little bit of a difference. Right now you can download the app, put in your credit card information, and start buying today. But if you want to do live auctions, it's a bit of a process. So let's start by talking about that. There are two ways to be a seller, a live seller on Whatnot right now. The first way is not going to happen for most people. They're going to contact you if you have a social media presence and invite you to sell there. That's what happened to me. It happened to a few other people I know. They want to bring people in and they're following to sell on Whatnot. The second way is a little bit more conventional. There's an application process where they're not only going to want to know what you have to sell, what category you may want to sell in, but they're also going to want to know about your social media presence. They want to bring people into this platform, and a quick and easy and cost-effective way of doing that is bringing people in with a following. I remember getting some heat a couple months ago for talking about, I think it was on a live, that having a social media presence in this day and age in reselling is really, really important, if not key. People say, it isn't. But with the future of reselling becoming more and more places like Whatnot and whatever else comes next, having that social media presence will help. So I encourage everybody, and this is just kind of a side note, to start on Instagram, start on TikTok. That's where I started. Start on YouTube, do videos, share your journey, let people know your tips for reselling. It can help you a lot to make more money down the road. I would encourage everybody who hasn't already downloaded the Whatnot app to go download it and then go look at all the different categories that are available to sell in right now. There's video games, there's sports cards, there's toys, and many, many more, vintage clothing. They are looking for people specifically to sell at this moment within these categories. So if you have a ton of vintage clothing, a ton of video games, a ton of toys, and can let them know you have that inventory and can continue to get it, that will help you get in. Also, for this reason, you can get in a little bit easier if you have a store right now because you have that supply and you have that inventory. So bear that in mind in your application. Try to figure out what kind of category would work for you. And if you can get the supply necessary to run, weekly, or, I do 5 auctions some week. After you go through this application process, there's going to be an interview. It's going to be a group interview, I believe, or an individual interview. Just be prepared to be asked, how much inventory you have, if you can consistently get the inventory for the category that you applied for. Remember, if you don't have a source or a way to get a lot of inventory consistently, they might not let you in. So just try to figure out some sort of source for that before you apply or before that interview process happens. If you're kind of stuck in the application process, which I know some people get stuck there, just keep emailing them, DM them on Instagram. Also get a hold of people like me or others who are selling on Whatnot. Let us know about what you're doing. We can try to put a good word in if we can, and that might help you, get to that interview portion of this process. After you're done with the interview and you're onboarded and everything, the next step is setting up live auctions. So I want to talk a little bit about that. First off, you're going to want to press create a live show. I'm in my American Arbitrage account. Sorry, I had to zoom in a little bit here because I filmed this vertical. That was a TikToker mistake right there. You're going to want to name your auction. I do a lot of sports card auctions, so I just put $1 sports card auction. Then you pick a category. I pick sports in this case, and then I'm going to pick a time. I'm doing one at 4 p.m. on Friday, so I'm going to set it up for 4 p.m. on Friday. One thing I've known is it does get a little bit glitchy, so I have to go between, 2 different dates to change it, go up and down to make sure it saves it. It's a little weird, but once it's saved, It's right there, and you have an auction set up, and you're ready to go live on that day and that time. There are a lot of small steps in this process to starting up your first auction. I'm not going to talk about every little detail, but I'm going to show you a few things in this video. One being how to put an item in that you're going to put up for sale. Here we are in my homepage. We're going to click that auction I just created, click the plus button, and we're going to go to quick add. There's a couple different options, but we're just going to focus on setting up an auction listing. That's what most of you all are going to be doing at the very beginning. Sports is the category this auction's in, and I'm doing a lot of 1991 upper deck football packs, which could possibly have Brett Favre rookies, so I've been selling those lately. Just a quantity of one, then you need to pick the weight. That's going to be roughly about 1 to 3 ounces. And then I press done, and that's it. And also, you see that start auction right there? That's what you press on the day of the auction to start the live. So I'd suggest before your first auction to quick add as many items as you want to put through that first auction and have them all ready to go a list. Because when the auction's going, you can scroll through that list, click on it. It's going to ask you to pick a starting price, pick if you want a 15-second auction, if you want a minute auction. There's a couple different options. And there's also something called sudden death, which means after 15 seconds or whatever amount of time you choose, the auction ends. In a regular auction, if somebody bids, it gives additional seconds, if that makes sense. So there's a couple different auction formats that you can use. Another option, which I do, is I quick add stuff throughout the auction. Auctions are ebbs and flows. Every auction's a little bit different, so I like to have kind of like an open palette and stuff around me. And if I know G.I. Joes are doing well today or this card's doing well today, I put that in and I type it in as I go. That's another option. When you first start doing these live auctions, it's a little bit intimidating, and it might be intimidating for a little while, but let me remind you that over time, just like anything, with a little bit of practice, you get more confident and you start to create a community. I can't emphasize this enough. In my auctions, there's a community. We set a vibe, and we like to have a good time. It's important to set, like a style and a vibe to your auctions. I want to show you a little clip to one of my auctions here. I was selling a Juggernaut and Colossus toy. I'm goofing off. I'm having fun. I'm telling jokes. And you can see people are bidding live. And as they bid, it goes up to the final price. And then when that final price hits, the person with the biggest bid or the last bid wins. The payment goes through directly. And then we can ship out the labels, and then we get paid later. So it's really awesome. Let me show you this clip. I'm all for it. It's too late. It's already at 9. Oh my God. It's not letting me follow you, really? Yeah, if you click it up here. You're at 990 right now. I just need 10 more to hit 1,000, guys. 10 more to hit 1,000, and you know what that means. I pass out live stream, guys. I'm just going to be gone. I'm just going to be sleeping for 15 minutes. You guys will have to wait for me to continue. That's a $60 fig. Yeah, it's up at 43. Not bad. I love watching your TikTok. That's awesome. Auction for life. I appreciate that, man. Or ma'am. I appreciate your following. That's awesome. These are cool. It's got like the different head. He only has like different hands, but Juggernaut really gets all the special treatment in this one. Well, look, Colossus only gets 2 extra hands. He's got extra hands. He's got an extra head, like a psychopath, and he's got like an extra helmet. We have Transformers. We probably have Power Rangers as well. Just followed. Hope you hit 1,000. Thank you, Madkins. I appreciate that. Yeah, and some of you guys may know I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. I'm getting pretty big on Pinterest, guys. If you want to check me out on Pinterest, I'm almost at 300 followers on Pinterest. I don't know what that means. It's kind of scary. I don't know what kind of responsibility I have. And that's how the auction works. You just put one item up, one at a time. You can be front-facing, where you're holding the item up and talking about it, or you can do it like me, where I'm holding the item in front of the camera, doing a close-up of the item, and having my face behind the camera. It really works either way. It's up to you how you want to do it. I gotta say, I really, really enjoy selling on Whatnot. I have not had one item that I've sent out to somebody that's been returned. That happens occasionally on eBay. Not a ton, but it does happen. I haven't had one return after I've shipped something out. Occasionally something might be canceled, but that doesn't happen that much either. It really bears in mind the question that I think a lot of people are thinking right now: is Whatnot, a big part or the future of reselling? And I have a very, very strong opinion on that. My emphatic answer to that question is yes. Whatnot is a big part of the future of reselling. Whether you agree or not, I think that's just going to be what happens. It's just so obvious that the future of reselling is going to be a lot more live sales. It's going to be on apps because everybody is, using their mobile phone. This doesn't mean that eBay's going anywhere. eBay may in fact create some sort of Whatnot competitor or maybe even buy a Whatnot. I doubt that, but you never know. But it's going to be a big part of the future. It's just so seamless. It's so easy. Honestly, as a buyer and a seller, it's pretty addictive. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I've done up to 5, I think almost 6, I think I did 6 auctions one week, which is intense. And that brings another point that I do want to talk about. One of the downfalls or one of the drawbacks of Whatnot is when you're doing a big auction, let's say locally, people leave with all their stuff, right? I used to do live auctions out of this building and people would take their stuff with them. When I do a live auction on Whatnot, I got to ship it all out. So there is a ton of shipping. So bear that in mind. But the good thing about having a ton of shipping is it means you made a lot of sales. So Whatnot's going to be a part of our future as resellers. I would embrace it. Life and reselling in general is about adaptation. And if you adapt now and you're an early adopter of Whatnot, for example, you're going to be able to reap those benefits. I'm almost at 2,000 followers in 3 months on Whatnot. My auctions are doing really well, and I know you guys can do it too. If you want to see more videos on Whatnot, let me know. I can make some more. And also, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I do thrifting videos, garage sale videos, and I'll probably do some more Whatnot content. I'll talk to you guys all later. Have a good day.